Hello everyone, I'm Corey and we're talking Manpower. Today I'm with Lieutenant Colonel Ed Serrano. He's the Chief of the Personnel Development Office for Functional Area 50. Lieutenant Colonel Serrano, thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
So can you explain to me a little bit about what Functional Area 50 is and what it does?
So FA-50 officers, it's what we call the Army Force Managers. We know how the Army runs, and we manage that functional specific dilemma in the Army. Force management officers integrate and implement changes to the force across the full spectrum of organizing, manning, training, and equipping the force.
So how large is this community?
Our functional area is about 217 authorizations, but we actually have about 257 officers Army-wide.
And then why are FA-50s often called the architects of change?
FA-50 officers are well known across the Army for leading the change that shaped the Army. For example, growing the Army since 2001, equipping combat units with the latest equipment, and more recent, reducing the end strength.
So it's kind of, the military equivalent of CP-26 in
It's
a way.
exactly the equivalent of CP-26.
Doing the same thing but wearing a different uniform.
Correct.
So what does the Personnel Development Office do for the community?
The PDO office manages the authorizations, training, and career development of active component officers. However, we're responsible to develop career opportunities for all officers, active component, National Guard, and USAR.
So if I want to do a training with industry or get more education or go to a specific course, I talk to you guys.
Depending on the component, but for the most part, we can point you in the right direction.
So how do you ensure that the FA-50s are in the places that they're needed?
For the most part, we consult with the operational commanders on a regular basis and request feedback as to their needs, their capabilities, what's included, grade and skills and experience.
And do you work closely with your civilian counterparts in CP-26?
For the most part, organizations with FA-50 officers also have CP-26 civilians where they complement the experience and enhance the exposure to those officers.
So they kind of work hand in hand in tandem to accomplish the mission.
Correct.
And just working together. So I understand that in order to become an FA-50, one of the things that I would need to do is take the FA-50 qualification course. So why is this course important and why is it needed to become an FA-50?
So the FA-50 qualification course exposes new FA-50 officers to new concepts of force management and prepare officers for their first assignment.
So outside of the FA-50 qualification course, my assumption is that's kind of like making sure that they have some sort of water wings on when they get thrown into the deep end and going into their job, correct? That they have some sort of device and they understand kind of the basics of what they need to do their job.
What the course is designed to do is expose them on the basic knowledge, the basic understanding, set the framework for what can I expect when I arrive to my new job as an FA-50, most likely my first job as an FA-50.
So outside of the FA-50 qualification course, what other professional or educational opportunities are there for FA-50s?
So the BDO office manages the Broaden Opportunities program, which also include advanced civilian schooling, which means the master programs. We send officers to gain a master's degree, training with industries, and fellowships. These opportunities are designed to enhance career by exposing officers to unconventional career paths. For example, military officers learn the state-of-the-art organizational management and skills that will benefit the Army later on in their career.
So kind of thinking outside the box and then bringing that thinking into the framework of FA-50
The Army.
To try to make different decisions that might go against not the grain per se, but go against kind of the conventional thinking because we're in a period where we're doing unconventional kind of things in terms of warfare and things like that.
And put it in this terms, we take the way they think about, organizational designs, budgeting, and we take those ideas and we try to implement it back in the Army. How can we make the Army better by prioritizing resources, which is a challenge that we currently have.
So where, if I wanted to learn more about the training with industry things, where could I look in? Is there a DA PAM for that?
So there's a AR 600-3, Chapter 30, page 302 that expand on the Broaden Opportunities programs for FA-50s.
Very good. I'm going to go check that out. So what advice would you give a soldier who's looking to become an FA-50?
So first of all, and most importantly, we're looking for high energy officers that are who are well grounded in tactical level planning and who are understanding of the capabilities and limitations of the operational Army. Start early. Talk to your HRC manager. Talk about the VTEP program, or the Voluntary Transfer Incentive Program. Be prepared to attend the 4-week course, which is named How the Army Run, and the 10-week course before arriving to your first unit.
So why did you become an FA-50?
I became an FA-50 about 10 years ago. I was looking for something different in my life, and the FA-50 allows you to do something different. It's challenging, it's demanding, but at the same time, it forces you to think. It's not an organization or a functional design that it's for junior officer. It's more for mid-level and high-level leadership. So it makes you think as to the strategic portions and what it's going to affect, the second and third order of changes that you need to think about it.
So I know that you're always busy here in the PDO office, but I know this spring will be particularly busy for you because you've got a couple different events coming up. So can you tell me a little bit about the Senior Force Management Seminar?
So the Senior Force Management Seminar is an annual event for military and civilians, FA-50s and CP-26 across the Army. This event enhances the information sharing, experiences, and the network across all the civilians and military personnel that work specific functions within force management.
So it allows for ideas sharing and sharing of best practices and just getting to know the people that you're going to work with on a daily basis.
Correct.
And I also understand that on top of the Senior Force Management Seminar, that the FA-50 is going to be inducting new members into the Force Management Hall of Fame. So how's this process coming along, and what are the steps to getting inducted? So
the Force Management Hall of Fame, it's an event that happens simultaneously with the Senior Force Management Seminar. This event, it's every 2 years versus the Senior Force Management that it's every year. So in conjunction with the Senior Force Management Seminar, we select nominations to be inducted into the FM Hall of Fame. These individuals, or the individuals that get nominated, had distinguished themselves by executing incredible actions within force management that will have a long and lasting impact in our Army. So
what are the kind of criteria to get nominated and get selected?
So the first one, and probably the most important one, the nominees need to be out of federal service for at least 2 years. That seems to be the most critical one. And then it goes into what the individual have done to distinguish himself within the force management.
Well, Colonel Serrano, is there anything else that you'd like to add?
I encourage officers to join the FA-50. It's a challenging experience and very rewarding. And if you have any further questions or would like to get more information about becoming an FA-50, please contact the FA-50 PDO or your HRC Career Management Officer.
Well, Colonel Serrano, thank you very much for your time. I know that you're very busy planning all these different events, but thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Well, everyone, that's all we have time for today. You can find out more information about FA-50 by looking up at their Facebook page, which is Functional Area 50 on Facebook. In the meantime, feel free to like facebook.com/ArmyCP26 for the most up-to-date news and information about Career Program 26 and Manpower and Force Management. And until next time, have a great Army Day.